Hello, everybody. This is a video on how to utilize samples and loops to create a backing track and how you would actually import them into your DAW. I'm going to show it in FL Studio because that's what my students using. I would highly recommend being extremely descriptive in the beginning of what you want to make. You can deviate from your idea, of course, but if you go in with a blank canvas and you're not really sure what you're doing, it can be really frustrating. So my student, she wants to do a lo-fi song, so she's describing the drums and the beats that she wants to utilize, which is great. So we have some different layers that she wants to use. So I'm going to use Splice because it's really user friendly, especially when you're a beginner. Now, there's a few different ways that you can do that. First, I would look up lo-fi beat or lo-fi drums. Actually, let's do that. Then I'm going to find like a loop that I prefer. Okay. I'm going to buy it with a credit and I'm going to check the BPM. If the beat is like my main instrument in my entire song, I would actually go in and change the tempo of my DAW, of my project in my DAW, to whatever is the main sample. I go back into my DAW and I change it. So I just drag it down to 80. Great, love that for us. Now, there's two different ways you can utilize Splice to create an arrangement, which is really good. One of them is just click and drag after you've bought the specific sample. You can just drag it in and you can then layer underneath whatever else that you want. I would actually recommend having a channel for each instrument so you can easily create an arrangement. But another thing that I've noticed within Splice is super helpful is this little button up here, which is create. Hey, let's say that this is my main one. I wanted to drag it there. Let's say that I wanted to add some percussion. I can delete it if I don't like it. Or I can search for something else. Let's put in lo-fi percussion and see what happens. Okay, cool. What I like about the Splice one, if I drag this in here, it automatically changes the tempo of my sample. Now, when I clicked on this, it says 122 BPM, which is not the same as 80. But when I drag it into this little creator stack thing, it automatically just links it up. It alters the sample. So this is a really easy way to see if I like something. Okay. This can be a really easy way to do that without any of the faff. So let's say that I really like this. I can click save. Okay, Soulful Shade, sure. Then I can export it. I can download it as stems. Then I'm going to click on the stems. Yes. And then suddenly it will come up in my download folder. Then from here, I can drag these in to my project. Let's do that and see what it looks like. That means now we have this. And I can go in and do whatever I want. I can turn it up and down. I can copy them and so forward. And from then it's really easy to stack them. Okay, so the way that we're going to do the other way that you can make a sample fit into your project is that I have my 80 BPM drum loop that I really like, and I found another sample that I really like, but they're not in the same tempo, and I want to manually do that. I go into where I found the sample and I just drag it into my project. This is in a totally different tempo. It's 122. We're going to make that fit to 80. Now it's going to alter the sound of the sample. So I actually think that 122 to 80 is too big of a jump. You want to try find something that's kind of closer to the original sample. However, this is how you do it. You right click on the sample and you can click fit to tempo. Now it will sometimes auto detect it, but you can also just type it in. So I will type in 80, 80, and then you see the altered the sample. Now it's going to sound a bit funny because oh, this is not the same. Like the sample is going to be too altered, but this will work when you do it. So that's just some different ways that you can create a backing track. Now you can just, create the longer arrangement, this arrangement view, and create the different layers, and off you go.